So, attempt number 3.
It's not easy, huh? No.
But there's one advantage we know in the warm-up.
Yeah, now we know what to do. Okay.
Yes. In the newer warm-up.
We're not getting horses to
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey guys, I'm here at the Paideia gym in Copenhagen. We just finished the Z-Health R phase, and I've been here with one of the 3 owners of the Paideia gym, is Eric. Hi Eric.
Yeah. Hi.
As I entered this gym for the first time, I was very impressed because it's a gym I like. The equipment is, I think, one of the best equipment in ICO, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, why you have chosen the most expensive and best equipment?
Because that is almost always the best solution. We have Elico, Atlantis, only the best possible equipment. Which, first of all, it's safe to use. It is designed to be used the way we want it to be used, and it will last for a lifetime. So, in 50 years, we will have the same bars and the same bumper plates. We don't have to buy new stuff. There's no mechanical wear down of this equipment because it's so simple. So yeah.
Okay.
That's
if people come here for the first time, it's not comparable to a conventional gym. How do they react?
Some people do get a little intimidated because what people are used to is to see a fitness center, and this is a gym, right?
Okay.
That's at least how I would like to differentiate. A fitness center is, you know, the typical place with mirrors, machines, and even sometimes TV screens and all kinds of entertainment designed to take people's consciousness away from training, from the fact that they're active training. You know, they're trying to entertain them so that they forget about training. That's at least the impression you get sometimes when you get into one of these places. This place is designed for training and focus and concentrating on training. As we just talked about at the Z-Health course, one of the most important factors in all training is intention and intensity. And that means, intensity means you have to work hard, but intention means that you have to be present with your whole being while you move, while you train to get the full benefit. And if you train in an environment that is designed to entertain you, you cannot be present. You cannot be, deliver the intensity necessarily to achieve results. So you're basically wasting your time.
Okay. What kind of peoples are your members?
Our members are people of all kinds. We have a lot of people from the local community. In many cases, people without any significant prior experience with training. Maybe they've been jogging a little bit. And we do also have athletes though that has long, strong training background, even former Olympic athletes that are training here, because this environment provides them with the facilities they need to train the way they need to train, right? So I would say we have all kinds of people, all kinds of educational level. We have university lecturers, we have musicians, we have lawyers, we have unemployed, we have students, we have people from all walks of life.
Okay. As I read outside, they're standing CrossFit and strength training.
Yes.
Isn't CrossFit strength training? Why you separate this?
A part of CrossFit is strength training. We do lift weights in CrossFit, and of course CrossFit can vary from gym to gym, and we put a lot of emphasis on the strength training part of CrossFit. But CrossFit is basically a group training class where you're trying to be a little bit of everything for everybody. So CrossFit will never be the perfect training program for any individual. That's why we offer more personalized, specific strength training, conditioning training, as well as the CrossFit group classes. And that's where the strength training comes into the picture. Often also when people do CrossFit, after maybe 6, 8, 12 months, they get to a plateau in their development. And they will need some more specific training to address their weaknesses and strengths. to you know, get that, to continue the development.
So you did the CrossFit certification.
Yes.
Okay. We talked about critical thinking. What are the main flaws in the concept of CrossFit?
I think one of the, I don't know if they could call it a flaw, because that is the nature of group classes.
Okay.
But of course, one of the challenges is that in a group class you cannot really do programming. Because if you have 10, 15 people in a class, you cannot provide everyone with the perfect workout they need that day. You never know when people show up, you don't know how often they show up, so that makes it really hard to make a program that takes individual differences into consideration. I think that is not just a problem with CrossFit, but all group classes, right? You cannot serve the individual perfect. That's just how it is. But people also accept that, because you know it provides them with a fairly good training. But yeah, it is what it is, right? And of course, you have to be careful about applying the intensity of CrossFit. That is one of the big challenges. Intensity is great. We just talked about the importance of intensity. But if you always go full bore, full intensity, you will burn out. Your nervous system, your psychologically, you will burn out. Your physique will burn out. And I think that's a problem for a lot of people. You know, that it can be a challenge to stay with CrossFit long term. So managing the intensity is very important to avoid injuries and stuff. Also, we have to be very careful about how people train, because when the intensity is so high, as it often is, people tend to forget about technique. They tend to forget about protecting themselves, and that's where the trainer comes into the picture. So often we stop people or correct them and change the exercises, deload the weight, or whatever we find necessary to protect them from injuring themselves. Because that's really what happens sometimes. People train themselves into injury if the trainer is not very strict about how to manage the class and the training.
Okay. How many women do you have?
Quite a lot. I would say close to, maybe not entirely, but close to 50-50.
Okay.
Quite a lot of women here. And that's great to see, because women in general are being taught in Denmark, and I am sure it's the same in Germany, that they should be very careful about how they train. There's special female training, toning, sculpting, step and slide, this and that, as if they're made out of glass, right? But they have a body with basically the same needs as a man when it comes to training. Of course, they cannot lift as heavy weights, but women can become much stronger, much better athletes than they imagine. But if they're brought up in this fitness industry of toning and sculpting, they really don't know their full potential. And
how do they react if you confront them? Now we're doing real strength training. Or how do you convince them to do that?
Yeah, well, that's a good thing.
It's an art.
Yeah, it is an art, but I think it helps a lot that there's a lot of women here. So when they walk in, they can see there's a lot of women doing this stuff, and that alone makes it less threatening.
Okay.
That demystifies the whole experience of lifting a weight. And then we are extremely careful about teaching the techniques correctly and allowing each individual to find her own way of progressing, right? You cannot really force this upon people, and particularly in the beginning, a lot of women are a little scared, a little nervous about it, and I just let them, take their time and help them every step of the way. Then one day they suddenly find themselves lifting heavy weights and doing pull-ups and push-ups and working really hard. It's great to see women with a fitness center background walk in here, and then 3 months later they're doing deadlifts, squats, presses, jerks, cleans, whatever. It's really amazing, and I would say they get in better shape than we do. That speaks for itself.
Looks like another fine day.